for Biden because he's better, smarter, better, and better. But I'm worried.
I'm worried too.
Because if Donald Trump isn't president,
then what are we going to talk about?
We get into a campaign ad that asks, what on earth will we talk about if Trump loses? So, Steve, what did you like about this one?
I like the truth about it. It's something that I think everybody can say, yeah, this is a real phenomenon. I mean, but it's not just Trump. Like we all know that anger sells. You know, the villain of the narrative, whatever that may be, that's always going to be the juicier slice. So yeah, we've never had a juicier, slicier villain to talk about. Well, in many's opinion, than Trump. So yeah, it was really just funny to watch because it hit all the regular beats of these types of PSAs. It was just, the content of it was tweaked for humor. And I think it didn't need to be like really over the top. It just needed to be more or less just presented in the same style as a lot of these PSAs often are.
Yeah, this one, my palms are sweaty to talk about this one because I get the joke. And, we try to shy, not espouse too much personal political feelings here, but I was just thinking, why now? Don't say this now. Say this in 2 weeks. Hopefully. Like, this is not the message I want anyone to be sending or receiving right now. And so I was just like, I was a little taken aback because we know the politics of SNL, right? So I was intrigued that they felt, that this was a good timing for this sketch. So yeah, I mean, that was my main thing. Like, I had trouble getting on board with it. Although, like I said, I get the joke, and it's not a bad joke. It's the news cycle will certainly theoretically calm down a lot, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the timing is not right on this one. So yeah, John, hit us with your opinion on it.
Well, I think it's interesting that you're not alone in that. I was listening to one of our rival SNL podcasts, and they were talking about SNL's take on Biden, and they felt like last week did him a disservice. And like they do say that SNL's at its best when both sides are thinking that they're the ones taking the hits. I watched this, and I'm not particularly right leaning, but I watched it, and I thought, it's a really good observation and very competently explored. So I really liked, what they did with it. But in a certain way, it kind of felt like they still took every opportunity to throw in a jab against Trump, because these are all, left-leaning progressive liberal types that are on screen. So they're saying, Trump is the worst, but we're going to miss him. And, Trump lies constantly, but what are we going to do without those lies? They're still like getting in their knocks, but still observing something that I think has some merit, some truth to it. So it's funny that you thought that this is something that you have stakes in this election and you don't want anything, maybe pulling the wind out of Biden's sails. So you thought that maybe they were hitting Biden a little heavy. I didn't see it in those terms. I thought that this was pretty darn fair and kind of down the middle in a way. And I thought that the cold opens, I think they do take more hits at Trump in general, and that's just because they have 4 years worth of things in their grab bag of easy jokes for Trump. But I don't think they have been painting Biden in too flattering a light. And there's some fair jabs, like his flip-flop line on fracking and stuff like that. Like that's something that could resonate with the electorate. So I think that there's some fair play going on here, and I'm okay with it because I don't have any stakes in the election. I could care less. Well, I mean, I don't really I don't want the United States to burn. So, I mean, I would like the best outcome. I don't know what that outcome would be. But I just generally enjoy peace. So I guess my big takeaway on all of this is that I just find it interesting that you'll unabashedly say, SNL, pull your punches, right? Like we're all left here, right? We're all progressive. What are you doing here? You gotta be pumping Biden up, and you gotta sell this. You gotta get this over the finish line for this old coot. And I'm thinking SNL, just find the jokes where the jokes are. And I think they found some good ones here, right or left.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like they were
Oh, come on.
it's not that they were not attacking Biden. Like I
Mm.
didn't feel like they were attacking Biden. I felt like I just didn't want them to give anyone some sort of messed up reason to be like, "Oh, maybe I should vote for Donald Trump." Like
Wow, no,
because
this
it's
isn't
more
gonna
amusing.
this isn't gonna move the needle, right? Like anyone
You
that
wouldn't think so, but literally I had a conversation with a guy on the street the other day about how like, I don't know, but Donald Trump's entertaining, right? And I was like, yeah, but there's more important things.
sure.
Um,
In all fairness, though, this is a narrative that's been around for a while. The idea that if
Yeah.
you looked at the ratings of like cable news or just visual media in general, there was a steep decline in broadcast television journalism and in like
Mhm.
cable news. And when Trump got in, they all had someone to rally around or rally against, and that worked marvelously for the ratings. So there's a serious point to be made that you hate him,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of pundits out of work.
Yeah.
Like what's Rachel Maddow going to do? They even said it, and it's so true. Like she's been on Trump basically for 4 years straight now, and I don't know if she's going to know what to do with herself when he's gone, if he goes. So, I like that this sketch is generating a little bit of juicy conversation here.
Yeah.
That's SNL at its best.
Yeah, like I don't feel like this sketch is one that's going to, it's not going to determine the election. It wasn't that powerful. But I just found the timing interesting because it also has it has that potential to just age incredibly poorly in 2 short weeks.
Sure.
Like,
And you know what? So much of SNL, like if Donald Trump is in for 4 more years, nothing that we've seen up to this point is gonna ever be rewatchable. That's a guarantee, right? Because
That's true.
they have shown their stripes for so long, the last 4 years. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's no going back on any of this. If he gets another 4 years and everybody's like pre-congratulating themselves on a Biden victory, oh, it's gonna be as cringy as Hillary taking her victory lap. Remember when they were doing the debate sketches and she's like,
Yep.
"You handed
Mhm.
me this election," and they
The Lin-Manuel
really
Miranda monologue.
yeah, you're never going to be president. They definitely jumped the gun on that one. So maybe they'll just be a little bit more restrained and they can start celebrating in a couple weeks, depending on how things go.
Well, just in case, Jim Carrey should start practicing the piano because he
Mm.
may just have to sing hallelujah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Or he may have to be contracted for 4 years. Which is, yeah. There's a lot of stuff up in the air with SNL right now. That's for sure.
For sure.